All right, pile number one. Hello and welcome back, everyone. My name is Venus Rising from Venus Rising Tarot, and in today's reading, we are going to be going over what message your spirit guides have for you. So this is a timeless reading, so whenever you find this reading is really when the message is meant to get to you. As always, we'll be going through a meditation, helping you pick your pile. Please pick your pile with your intuition and not your physical eye. Again, we'll be going through a guided meditation to help you, tap into your intuition. So today we have 5 piles. So we have pile number 1, pile number 2, which is the opal. I did look this one up. We have pile number 3, which is the cloudy quartz. Pile number 4, which is a sunstone, and then pile number 5, which is a tiger's eye. Okay, so just before we get into the meditation, just want to remind you that this is a general reading. So while this is a message from your spirit guides, not everything that comes up in today's reading may not be a message meant for you. So again, just asking you to use your intuition when it comes to these messages. We'll be channeling for a lot of you guys, tapping into collective energy. So as always, take what resonates and leave the rest. All right, so we're going to be getting into our meditation. So please make sure that you're in a comfortable position. And we're going to be doing 3 deep mindful breaths. So you're going to be inhaling through your nose and exhaling through your mouth. So you're going to breathe in for 5. Holding for 2. And exhaling for 5. So breathing in for 5. Holding for 2. And exhaling for 5. All right, and we're going to be inhaling for 5. Holding for 2. And exhaling for 5. All right, pile number 1, welcome to your reading. I hope you're doing well, my angels. Change up the setup slightly because I realized my incense had gotten on to the satin covering that I have here. So you picked this stone. Again, I apologize, I still don't have the name for it, hoping to find that out soon. But in today's reading, we are going to be going over what messages your spirit guides have for you right now. So this is based on the energy that you are in currently. So I've pre-shuffled some tarot, and then we'll be live shuffling the rest of the messages. So let's just flip over your tarot. Oops. So you have the Three of Wands, the Empress, and then the High Priestess, with the Empress and the High Priestess both being in reverse. It kind of feels like your spirit guides really want to just give you a message for the journey ahead. It feels like you guys are doing really, really well, and your spirit guides are very proud of you with the Three of Wands here. So it feels like you've accomplished a lot, but what I'm hearing for you guys is that, you know, the best is sort of yet to come. And tapping into the Empress energy. So, you know, like the Empress is, you know, the epitome of divine feminine energy, as well as like the High Priestess. And it's interesting that you have 2 3s here in your reading and a 2, so kind of following like very, very sequentially. So what I'm really feeling for you guys is that, you know, the journey and the path that you're on right now is very like going to lead to a lot of prosperity. So what I'm feeling is that this prosperity is very much linked to both your personal relationships, but I'm hearing also your relationship with the earth. So some of you may actually, you know, be plant parents or like to garden or be out in nature. And I'm hearing that that's a really, you know, strong message for you guys as sort of like a touchstone. So whenever you're feeling grounded, or not grounded, but a bit disorientated and ungrounded, that a huge part of grounding for you is going to have to do with like the physical earth, you know, and that's what's going to help you tap into your intuition with the High Priestess here. And this is very much like the energy that your spirit guides wants you to get into, like very powerful, divine, you know, feminine energy, very discerning energy, both being like the mother. I always see like the Empress as mothering. Again, like these are just energies and don't actually have anything to do with gender. But like I always see like the Empress as mothering energy and the High Priestess as well, but in different ways. So I see the High Priestess and the Empress as 2 sides of like the same coin, where the Empress, you know, is mothering of like the environment and the people around her, and then the High Priestess, you know, is sort of like that divine mother and letting and being that guide and letting spirit in the universe use them as a vessel to deliver messages. So really what your spirit guides want you to do, because this is very much like in your path, is to really tap into both energies and like really like keep in, you know, balance. You know, some of you may have just gone through like recently a dark night of the soul, just sort of feeling some tumultuous energy with the Three of Wands, and you know, like not really sure what lies ahead for you, but this message from your spirit guides is really trying to just tell you and let you know that you are exactly where you need to be, even if it doesn't feel like it right now, because it feels like your spirit guides just want you to know that, you know, you're being prepared, and this is all sort of preparation, right, my lovelies? And it's not to sort of like lose sight of, you know, what you want to do in the journey ahead, but it's really being, you know, you're really being called to sort of be in balance. You know, and just because, you know, sitting in this like emotional energy or relying on your intuition solely hasn't yielded the best results. What your spirit guides want you to know is that like a harmony is very much essential. Because I do see like this huge ascension on the horizon, and I'm hearing like a spiritual like glow up, and for some of you it might also be like a physical glow up as well, but it's really honing in on the practices that help like ground you in your physical body as well as the present moment. I'm hearing like your spirit guides like want you to communicate with them more. And that's, I'm hearing for like prayer, through prayer, and like as like you don't necessarily have to be religious to engage in the act of praying or praying practices. Um, but, like with the fruit here and the earth, and like thinking of fruit of the earth, what some of you may want to do is set up like an altar and actually make physical food offerings to your spirit guides, and that be a way that you can be strongly like linked to them if you're feeling a bit like disconnected or want specific guidance on things. But what I'm hearing your spirit guides are encouraging you to do is like, as you nourish your body, nourish your soul. So maybe try out like sending out prayers like around like meal times or whenever you're eating. So it doesn't have to be like a sit down, like pray before you eat. It can be sort of like meditating as you eat, because it really is like your spirit guides are calling you to like balance both the physical and the spiritual. Let's see what else. Because it feels like you were definitely like doing well, pal number one. But like this, your spirit guides just want to help you strengthen their connection with them, because they very much want you to reach this Empress and High Priestess energy. So what other messages for pal number one from their spirit guides? Whoop. Wow. Okay, so we've got, I always like set this up and then have to move it a million times. So we've got two priestess energy here. So we have the priestess. How are you being called up to called to step up and lead and dance with life? Do something to change your energy. So it's really about this like physical embodiment. That's what you're being, called to do. So actual grounding practices that stabilize you with the present. So that's, talking about food, talking about getting in touch with the earth if it's possible, maybe getting some plants, or even if you don't want like a plant, like an herb garden, and really being mindful of what you put into your body, and making sure that it's like healthy whole foods like the majority of the time, because you're really being called to nourish both your spirit and your body in this present moment. And with the priestess, how you're being called to step up and lead, and we're getting the priestess twice, so this is just double confirmation that you are being called to step into, your intuition and, balance these two sides. Because if we see here, like your oracle cards mimic your tarot in both like the physical and the spiritual messages. Because you are being called to bring some things into balance here. Because you have like a lot of great leadership potential, and your spirit guides really want to work with you to hone in on that, so you can be better set up to be either a spiritual leader in your community, a leader at your job, a leader, like of a movement. I'm hearing somebody may be an activist, or somebody's work may actually greatly impact the mind, or the times. So that could be anything from, like tech to the arts, or even a combination of the two. As well as healthcare. But this is why you're being called to really consider your balancing both these sides of yourself. It's because your spirit guides want you to be in the best position to lead, and bring this forward, because you do have a lot of potential. And like on the bottom of the deck, of your oracles, you're getting cracked open. It's happening for you, not to you. So whatever you're going through in it, as I picked up on from the Three of Wands, like whatever, difficulties or tumultuous times, or even like if you've recently gone through a dark night of the soul, or you're recently going through a dark night of soul, this is all helping you bring things into balance so that you can go on this path, because you are being called to lead, and your spirit guides see you as a leader. All right. That's a powerful, powerful message. So that is all I'm seeing for you, my lovely pile number ones. Thank you so much for letting me read to you, and I will see you next time with all my love and light. Hello, my lovely pile number twos. Welcome to your reading. So, in today's reading, we are going over what messages your spirit guides have for you. Any advice, anything that they really want to call on you to do. So, without further ado, let's get into it. I've pre shuffled your tarot, and we'll be sort of live shuffling like the rest together and see how this journey sort of unfolds. So we have the King of Cups in reverse, the Knight of Wands in reverse, and the Temperance all in reverse. Okay, pile number twos. I'm getting a lot of stagnation energy. So I'm feeling for some of you, you may be feeling like very stuck and very unsure of what your next move is, actually. With the Knight of Wands and the King of Cups in reverse, I'm also feeling like you have not been tapping in to your yang or masculine energy sort of enough. And I'm getting the sense that even with the Temperance in reverse, it's really just saying that, you know, something's sort of out of alignment for you. And I'm really getting that with like the King of Cups and the Knight of Wands, that it's very much you've been sitting in a very receptive energy, where it's sort of like going to the flow, but without any real purpose, if that makes sense. So you're happy to sit back and just see where like life takes you, and you know, like you're not really giving any direction to where that is. It's just sort of like, okay, this opportunity comes along, I'll take it and I'll see what it's about. So it really feels like you could be, you know, like sitting, and then somebody off the street comes to you and says like, hey, would you like to be a part of my street marketing team? And you're like, you know what? That doesn't actually sound like too bad. I may need the money. And then you're sort of like drifting from like thing to thing, but without any real purpose and without any real sort of like direction. And it doesn't feel like, with the King of Cups in reverse, and the cups being like the suite that rules sort of our emotional domain, it doesn't feel like you don't know what you want. And like even with the Temperance, it doesn't feel like you don't know what your purpose is. It feels more so like you don't, I don't want to say you don't care, but you're not really doing anything about it. And like for some of you, it could be that you're sort of afraid, you know, and that's real, because it's when you want something and you feel like you were put on this earth to do something, that fear can be sort of paralyzing, because it's like, oh, if this is the thing that I thought I want to do and I go for it, it doesn't work out, then where does this leave me? I mean, it feels like that's a question that you're asking yourself, and your spirit guides with the Temperance here are saying, don't worry about that, you know? It's like we aren't giving you these messages about what your divine purpose is for no reason. But you're sort of paralyzed by fear, which is why you haven't really made a lot of headway in whatever that may be for you. Take the fear thing however it resonates, but it feels like a lot of stagnation energy for the vast majority of you, and not really knowing like where to sort of go next. It very much is just like, I'll just looking at the King of Cups and like the tides in the background, just being like, you feel very much like the ship in the current energy that you're in than the actual king, because the King of Cups is very much guided by the emotional domain, and knowing with, you know, intuition, and letting that gut be like the guiding like factor, and like taking decisive action and doing, and very much being in that divine masculine energy, like the doing energy. The Knight of Wands is very much like action oriented and charging ahead and like charting out a path. And that's what you're being called to do, is actually chart out a path. So writing may, and scripting and visualizing may be useful for you guys. But I'm not hearing for the vast majority of you that you don't know what it is. Like, I'm hearing that you know what it is and you have a couple of ideas. And that may even be the thing where, you know, you feel like you have too many to even know where to start. But you are being called to, by your spirit guides, to pick a direction and just go. Like, really, that's what I'm hearing, is just pick a direction and just go, because it can't really send you any opportunities and line things up divinely, because your stagnation is even blocking their intervention, because they don't even know what to offer you, if that makes sense, because you're so really unclear, and it just sort of seems like any and everything. So like learning how to say yes is just equally as important as learning how to say no, and it's not sort of everything that comes in your path, and every opportunity that presents itself is something that you need to take. So your spirit guides, they really just don't want you to be afraid anymore. See what other messages your spirit guides have for you. Any other messages? Yeah. I just love when things line up. So we've got answer the call. What is your soul calling you to do? And Anna, grandmother of Jesus, seeding the light, laying foundations, divine plan. I don't know why grandmother of Jesus is actually cracking me up. But yeah, exactly. This is just confirmation from the message. So you see exactly how you're in the stagnation energy, but you are being asked to answer the call of your soul here. Because a lot of you know, right? And it's really about like getting into this energy of, okay, I'm going to, you know, channel the King of Cups energy, which is what I'm really feeling that you're being called to do, channeling the King of Cups energy and being led by your emotions in a way that propels you forward, and really just being like, what is my soul calling me to do? What was I put on this earth to do? What are my hopes and dreams? So that your spirit guides, like with Anna, grandmother of Jesus, can help you, because they want to, your spirit guides definitely want to help you, but they need to feel you reaching back out at them. And right now, with this sort of like very passive energy, you're not reaching back out to them. So they very much want you to stop being afraid, and really just, as easier said than done, you know, like stop being afraid. And it's like, okay, if it was that easy, I would, you know, snap my fingers and, you know, go answer the call, and get into this direction. But it's really about sitting with yourself and interrogating. It's like, what am I so afraid of? What does the pursuit terrify me of? Is it because, you know, you're trying to make ends meet and that's your primary concern? And your spirit guides, of course, want you to be, your physical and material needs to be like well met and taken care of. That's, you know, not even the question here. But they want you, while you're doing that, to think about, okay, what is it that you want to do? And really, you know, take ownership of that. So for some of you, it could be, you know, you've been very like career focused, focused on your education, focused on, you know, getting your money, your finances up. And like love has always felt like an area where, you know, it felt sort of out of your hand. So whenever it came up, you would like seize sort of every opportunity, even if the information that you were being provided with up front signaled that this is not a situation that you should be getting yourself in and getting yourself involved in. But because you haven't really let yourself, you know, sit in that space of saying, I want love, and there's no shame in saying that, you know, I want love and I want partnership, and there isn't pile number 2. But it's being, you know, clear about what your intentions are and not sort of accepting anything that is less than. Okay, so that is all I'm seeing for you, my lovely pile number 2s. Thank you so much for letting me read for you. Until next time, with all my love and light. All right, pile number 3, welcome to your reading. So in today's reading, we are going over all the messages your spirit guides have for you based on your current energies and where you are. Whenever you find this message, this is really when you're meant to hear it. So you guys picked the Cloudy Quartz, and I've pre-shuffled your tarot, and we will be pulling sort of other messages as and when we see fit. Okay, so we have the 4 of Pentacles, the Fool, and the 8 of Cups. I'm hearing you need to begin again. And that's just out of the gate. There is something that you are holding on to too tightly, and your spirit guides want you to walk away. I'm getting that message sort of very, very strongly, because you're holding on to something too tightly, my loves. And whatever that situation or that person may be, or even an idea of how something should have turned out, you are holding on to it to sort of like dear life in a way that's not beneficial. Because you see how this like person's has contorted themselves to grasp onto all 4 pentacles, so their head is down, and they aren't really noticing the world around them anymore, because they're so focused on the situation and this thing, and really just trying to keep everything under their control. And it very much feels like you may struggle with control issues and things being out of your control, but that's very strongly like the energy emanating off of the 4 of Pentacles, and you are being called to walk away with the 8 of Cups because the situation is not serving you. And it's not serving you in the way that you need. So on the surface, I'm hearing that, you know, the reason why some of you are really holding on to the situation is because you have convinced yourself that the situation it's meeting your needs superficially, if that makes sense. So it's not even like, you know, something that you necessarily would have had to convince yourself of, but you know, you're not really looking that closely at the situation to really see that it's not what you think it is. And that's what I'm here. I'm not really getting that many details around like what the situation could be, and I get a feeling that's just because like a lot of your situations may vary. So but what you are being called to do is like rejoin the world. And you can see in the 8 of Cups, this person is, you know, walking away. The cups are there. They look sort of like delightful, could be filled with whatever, but just saying, you know what, I need to walk away. I need to let go. I need to rejoin the world and get back to the mountains. And you see how this imagery is like playing out, where we have the mountains in the background of the Fool, because you are being asked to begin again and to reimagine sort of like the possibilities, but also to start over and choose a new narrative for yourself. Seeing what other messages we can other messages, Spirit, is there for pile number 3? Whoop. Yeah, so we have the, when I can pick it up because it came flying out, we have the Queen of Swords and the Six of Wands in reverse. And with the Queen of Swords here, you are being called to use your discernment. Use your discernment about the situation, because with the Six of Wands, actually holding on to the situation is quite literally having you travel backwards. You're not progressing, and you know, it kind of feels like you're like going up an escalator that's going down, if that makes sense. But you're going at it at like a matching speed where you feel like you're making progress, right? Because you're taking a step, but the escalator's moving in an opposite direction to you, often at either like the same rate or faster. So your net movement is really just 0. And that was just, you know, the math side of me coming out. But, you know, it's basically, you're just going in a circle, but like it feels like your footsteps keep getting like washed out the sand. So you think that you're, you know, going into this great unknown by hanging on to this Four of Pentacles situation, whatever that may be for you. But your spirit guides are really asking you to walk away. That is the strongest message that I am getting for you. And really to begin this new cycle. See if I can get sort of any advice for you, because I didn't. Yeah. So we've got boundaries, and we've got the Age of Light, and no. So what I'm feeling with no is your spirit guides are saying you need to let go, and that is just like the constant. that is the message. I keep trying to see if I can pick up something else for you guys to get some information, but you know, whatever message we get is what we sort of have to accept. Your spirit guides are saying no, plain and simply, because you really need to get out this Four of Pentacles energy and channel the Fool energy. For some of you, it could be because you haven't really established boundaries in a productive ways. So it's not necessarily that you don't have boundaries, but like half the battle is having a boundary. The second half is enforcing it, and the third half, the third part, wow, is making sure that you don't trespass your own, right? So I'll give you some examples here. So, you know, like you can tell somebody, hey, I do not appreciate, you know, being spoken to in this way. And they sort of, you know, either come to you and talk out of the side of their neck, or not even that dramatic. But, you know, you tell somebody like, hey, I'm feeling very underappreciated in this relationship. These are the things that would make me feel appreciated. Like, I'd appreciate if, you know, you reached out to me more, right? Or, you know, like there's like more balance or equal give and take in our relationship. And it's 808 as I say that. So maybe look out for repeating 8s as like messages from your spirit guides. But this person continues, you know, to take advantage of like your generosity, and you're like, okay, I'm not happy about it, but they're not doing this other thing that I asked them. You know, they are doing this other thing, right? And it's one thing to have somebody ignore your boundaries, but it's another thing when you betray your own, and when somebody continually like trespasses on your boundaries, and you like let them do that without any consequences and without detaching yourself from the situation and taking that as a sign like, hey, you actually don't respect me enough to respect my boundaries. So you know what I'm going to do? Like, I'm just going to remove myself from the situation because the situation no longer serves me. But by continually being in this energy and like entertaining this situation or entertaining this person's behavior, you are trespassing your own boundaries. And that could be very much like what your spirit guides are asking you this situation to get out of. But the reason why you need to let go is because you need to have better boundaries. And this is where this discernment energy comes from. And it's really just putting this into practice. Like, this is feeling like a test, and very much testing ground energy, where you are being tested by your guides to see if they can take you to the next level. But them being able to take you to the next level is very much predicated on how you are right now, right? Your spirit guides aren't going to upgrade you, without the relevant components, without the relevant like hardware or software. They're not going to put you in a situation that you can't handle. But it's really about like, how are you learning this lesson? And you need to demonstrate that you have learned this lesson to them so that they can bring around like, help you connect with better people, help you connect with better situations, better opportunities, help you like elevate to a greater clarity, greater mental clarity, and just, overall just glow up. But they can't do that for you, right? They need to see that, you are taking the lessons to heart. Because again, it's one thing to know things on a psychological level, and say, okay, I'm going to, I know that my boundaries are being betrayed, and I'm not going to stand for it. But it's another thing to sort of embody the lesson, and that is what you are being called to do with Boundaries in the Fool, is to really begin this new chapter of actually showing up for yourself by recognizing when you need to walk away, when you're holding on to something too tightly, and being in this energy of, what is the situation teaching me? Have I betrayed myself by staying? But this very much feels like testing ground energy. So your spirit guides are asking you to demonstrate to them that you have learned your lessons, actually. All right, that is all I'm seeing for you guys, my lovely pile number 3s. I hope this reading brought you some clarity and guidance. I will see you next time, and sending you off with all my love and light. Hello, my pile number 4s, and welcome to your reading. So in today's reading, we are going to be seeing what messages your spirit guides have for you as you are right now and what current energy you're in. This message, whenever you find it, is meant to find you, rather. Getting a bit tongue-tied. But you guys picked the lovely Sunstone. So I've pre-shuffled your tarot, and we're going to be live shuffling the other decks to see if we can get any further information. So starting off with your tarot, we've got the 6 of Swords, the 9 of Cups, and the 5 of Wands. So I'm hearing that the battle is over. Yeah, that's the first thing that's come through, and it came through quite strongly, because with the 5 of Wands energy of being, very much, I don't know, like the word combative is coming to mind, but it's very much like standing your ground and like defending. I'm feeling like a lot of you are in this very like defensive energy, and with the 6 of Swords, it felt like this like never ending journey, which has been sort of quite painful for some of you. Of the 5 and also has felt quite lonely. Even if there are, other people around you, it hasn't felt like, it doesn't feel like you felt that connected for some of you. But what your spirit guides are really coming through quite strongly is to sort of let you know that it's the battle is over, right? You're being led into a huge sense of prosperity with the Nine of Cups here. Like, I'm hearing like huge abundance energy, and it hasn't, for some of you it may pertain to something that you've been manifesting and it hasn't come sort of easily to you, and it's come with a lot of trial and error, and a lot of feeling like, will it ever work out? Is it going to be for me? Is it going to happen? With the Nine of Cups here, rest assured, your spirit guides want you to know that you've done the work, and like it's now time to reap the fruits of your labor. That's what's really happening here, which is exciting. Let's see if we can pull any more information on what this may be for you. But this is more so just a reassuring message from your spirit guides. Let's see. These cards be flying out. So let's I actually can't reach them, so we're just going to assume that. Okay, what other messages does pile number 4, spirit guide, have for them? This is beautiful energy, you guys. So you've got the Queen of Wands and the Queen of Pentacles. See if we can get this in any which way. The Queen of Wands and the Queen of Pentacles. So very fiery, creative. I'm feeling like a lot of you be feeling energized. I'm hearing a lot of solar plexus energy, solar plexus chakra activation. So your sense of self being deeply activated in ways that it wasn't before, as well as Queen of Pentacles. So very much like your material and physical needs being met. I'm very much feeling like Venus in Virgo energy with the Queen of Pentacles. So, Venus in Virgo likes to feel secure, likes to feel comfort in home environment. So maybe seeing some improvements there where your living situation may have not been, the most conducive to the kind of like life that you want to live, or the kind of area that you, or the kind of community that you want to be around. But with the Queen of Pentacles here, rest assured, or that you are being guided in that direction by your spirit guides, because as I said, like the battle is over. Like you no longer have to go it alone, and you are very much so being rewarded for the hard work that you have done. Let's see what other messages can you get. Other messages is pile number 5, spirit guides. Awakening. Yeah, energetic upgrades, a new way of being. And you've also got play here. So having fun, celebrating, and not being so serious. Yeah, you guys, like this is such a beautiful energy. Your spirit guide just wants you to know that the hard work for now is over, and it is really time for you to reap the benefits. So again, this may not come in sort of the way that you want or expect. So it may not be that sort of every area of your life is just like straight up smooth sailing, but you're going to be moving into the sense of ease with play here, right? And play is all about ease? Would it be play if there was sort of resistance? And it's because you've done like this work that you are being awakened and you are being called higher, so that you can reap the benefits of your hard work, and you can, you know, like Queen of Wands and play here are having like a lot of synergy for me, that like very like fiery, passionate energy here with have fun, celebrate, don't be too serious, just being in this very much flow state. And you can see that in awakening, the type of surrender and that kind of sort of being able to answer the call because you're in this flow state. And it's coming off of the back of a lot of resistance, not necessarily from you, but from outside factors where you've been trying to get things moving in certain areas, and it really doesn't feel like you've been seeing a lot of movement or a lot of headway with the things that you have, with the things, situations, you know, ideas. This can be even like trying to progress your self-esteem, and doesn't really feel like you've come with a lot of headway on like that area. But with awakening and play, like 9 of Cups energy, like things are about to become a lot easier for you, my loves. And your spirit guides just want you to know that they are so proud of you and the work that you've put in, and they really just want to reward you for that. I'm feeling like a warm hug and embrace, and they just want you to know that you have been doing oh so well, like oh so well. And yeah, you're just like really supported, and they just want you to take this time to sort of enjoy, because they know how hard you've worked and how hard it has been for you guys. That's such a beautiful message. But that is all I am seeing for you, my lovely pile number 5s. Thank you so much for letting me read for you, and I'm sending you guys all my love and light. Hello, my lovely pile number 5s. Welcome to your reading. So today's reading is all about what messages your spirit guides have for you. So whenever this message reaches you is when you're meant to find it. Doesn't matter when this was posted. You guys picked this gorgeous tiger's eye. So we'll be going over your reading and seeing what messages we have for you. Pre-shuffled your tarot. Some of your tarot, and then we'll be pulling to see if we can get any additional messages as it gets on. So we have 8 of Pentacles, 9 of Pentacles in reverse, and 6 of Pentacles in reverse. So this is the only reading today where you guys have only gotten one suite. So I'm very much getting the energy that this has to do with the material sort of realm, and that's what the guidance very much sits within. So with the 8 of Pentacles being in reverse, I am hearing that there is still work to be done. And that's sort of like the theme of this message, and it's like it feels like you've started something, or you're sort of on the earlier to like medium stages of a journey, but your spirit guides want you to know, not to give up, but also to set your expectations that you will not sort of be seeing the fruits or the fruition of your hard work and your labor and your manifestations for a bit of time. Because like the Pentacles are like also a very slow moving energy, because it's very deliberate. And slow moving isn't anything like good or bad. It's pretty neutral, but it's just very deliberate energy. And that's why your spirit guides came through with all Pentacles to really drive that point home, where you're not going to really see in 222 as I say this. So I would be on the lookout for repeating 2s or 222s as a sign that your spirit guides, are assuring you to keep on going. You're not really going to see the fruits of your labors reach its full potential right now, because there's still work to be done, right? And it's very much hearing like being very slow and intentional with your step. And with Six of Pentacles, I'm actually hearing like a call for community, and I'm hearing that your spirit guides want you to reach out to others for help, because they know that it's going to take a while, but one thing that can help you along with the process, and this isn't guaranteeing anything about timelines, and your spirit guides want you to know this as well. Just because they're saying like reach out for help doesn't mean that it's going to speed up, and instead of being like a year from now, it'll now be 6 months. But one thing that's going to bring the process some ease for you is to reach out to the community, right? And in the sharing of resources and sharing of knowledge, will this process of waiting, because you are being called to wait. It's very much like wait and see. You are on the right path though, and you are doing what is required of you, but your spirit guides very much wants to wait to see. Not only give them some time to get some things lined up for you, but to see how you handle this journey of being, deliberate and intentional. Because it doesn't, for some of you, this a whole slow moving energy, this very deliberate energy, does not feel like it comes that naturally to you, which is why your spirit guides want you to reach out to others for help and to build the community and call upon the communities that you are a part of, because in sharing in this experience, then the burden sort of lifts from you as being sort of the sole owner and sole proprietor of your own worry and your own anxiety. And then at least you'll have more people to share your worries with, and your anxieties and your thoughts. And for those of you who are already a part of a community and are on this journey with others, your spirit guides are really urging you to just, either expand that community as and when it feels right, and really be open to letting other people join you on this journey, because there is going to be great sort of benefit, not only materially but emotionally and spiritually for doing that. But also they really want you to reach out to others, and actually sit down and maybe have like emotional check-in. So if this is a project that you're working on, you can have like a business meeting and say, okay, like, have we done this? Like, have we, looked at our social media? Have we designed the website? This, that, and the third. But also add in like an emotional aspect of it and be like, how are we feeling about everything? And I'm feeling that you're being urged to separate the two. So you'll have one meeting where you deal with, okay, like these are the nitty-gritty practical components of the business or the project that we're working on. And then we'll have a separate meeting where it'll just be like, how are we feeling about everything? Because when you're starting something, and if it is a project, there's a lot of times, and I know I go through this, where you reach that sort of energy of like, what am I even doing this for? But when you have other people who are going on similar journeys, so it doesn't necessarily feel like you need to bring them in on what you're doing, but being a part of, an activist community, where somebody may be working on something different to you and their focus may be on the environment and yours may be sort of on, housing. But, being a part of like a consortium or of creatives, of activists, or whatever it is for you, however that resonates, you will reap the benefit of knowing that you're not alone in this journey, because whatever you're on and whatever this is, there's going to be like a lot of things that need to fall into place, and your spirit guides definitely are working on it, and they don't want you to worry. I'm hearing somebody's getting like very like anxious and like, you've got to be kidding me. But your spirit guides are very much lining things up, but they know that this is going to take time, and it's going to take time because there are a lot of like lessons they want you to learn on the journey as well, because they want to make sure that when you get it, you are in a place where you can actually sort of appreciate, and you're better prepared to appreciate and to experience the full benefits of whatever manifestation this is and whatever journey that you're on. And as you can start to do this, they're going to throw you a bone like here and there, and some things will be trickling in. And I'm definitely seeing that with the Six of Pentacles energy. But this is only a sliver of the situation at hand, like where it can go. So what other messages does pile number 5 spirit guides have for them? We'll pull a couple more. Ooh. Yeah, I just love it when it all comes together. So we have Sisterhood of the Rose, beauty and devotion, priestess, mystic, and teacher. Sorry for knocking the camera there. And soul family, call in your tribe. You don't have to do it alone. You see, these cards are all about community. And really you're just being urged. You're really being urged to integrate yourself into one, because it's going to help you out in more ways than you can imagine. And that's part of the reason why there is going to be some delay if you've been resisting that. But your spirit guides very much want you to play well with others is what I am hearing for you. See, what else? I just want to read out Sisterhood of the Rose for you, because there is... So the Sisterhood of the Rose is a lineage of priestesses and mystics who devoted their lives to serving humanity and seeding light consciousness all over the earth. A cross-section of ancient lineages, it is the path of devotion and beauty. Walking this path means being devoted to seeing and creating beauty wherever you go. The rose symbolizes the heart and the sacred geometry of all life. You are being called to notice the beauty around you, particularly in nature, and hear the whispers of Mother Earth, right? So you are being called to harmonize, the Sisterhood of the Rose wasn't able to tap in to, their gifts and fulfill this mission by themselves. They all had gifts to an extent, but what really helped them pursue this mission and to achieve it and to protect Earth and, beauty and the harmony of the planet is really being in union with those around them and being in harmony with their, soul family. So that's what your spirit guides really just want you to know. But you are doing well, and you will see the benefits start to trickle in. But they again just want to make sure that you're best prepared, so that when it is time to reap the full rewards, you won't lose it. Okay, my lovely pile number 5, that's all I'm seeing for you today. Thank you for letting me read for you with all my love and light. I will see you next time.